Thank you all for coming tonight for the Ordinance Administration for August 16th, 2021. We'll try to get this through as quick as possible. Consistent with the Chapter 21 of the Acts of 2021, this meeting will be conducted by remote participation. The public may not physically attend the meeting, but every effort will be made to allow the public to view and listen to the meeting in real time and participate when necessary. If you are calling on a phone, you can press *9 to request to speak. If you're watching on a computer or device, there's a hand raise button that you can tap to press to request to speak. Please use either these options to be recognized to speak. So tonight we have a lot of participants that all work for the city, and I'd like to acknowledge them. We have Sherry Carvelis from the clerk's office, Councilor Blank, our CFO, John Dunn, Ryan Knowles, Bill Sanborn, John McCarthy, Mike Hale, J.V. O'Hara, Sean Bushy, Val Gibbon, Joseph Balbo, and Ed Conley. And we'll move on to the first motion. We have appointments to the Police Building Committee, which will be Police Chief Ed Conley, Deputy Chief Joe Fitzgerald, CFO John Dunn, City Councilor John McCarthy, Melissa Textera Prince from the court, Building Inspector Bill Sanborn, Officer Sean Bushy, Officer Heidi Fiallo, Sergeant Joseph Balbo, IT Director Ryan Knowles, and DPW Director Michael Hale. Is Mike Hale available right now?
Hey, Sean, how are you tonight?
Wonderful. Great to see you. If you could give us a little rundown on what's going on here, that'd be excellent.
Certainly. And I don't want to speak at all for Chief Conley, but I think I can give a strong enough start to this. A number of years ago, as part of our capital planning process, we started to take a look at the spatial constraints of the Gloucester Police Department, Police Station, and Gloucester District Court. Obviously, a 50-year-old building. It's kind of outgrown its needs as far as modern policing goes. There's some spatial constraints, there's some flow issues. Certainly from a technology standpoint, the facility is 1970s technology, and we live in a time when technology is bigger than ever. There's obviously concern with various rooms for security, equity when it comes to the gender of male and female officers. So we took a deep dive into what that building could become, recognizing that that building was going to stay in its current position on Main Street. We had our architect begin an evaluation of what we could do to make improvements to that facility. Initially, it began with windows and a roof, and we recognized that quickly that the building needed much more than that, from mechanicals, HVAC, to electrical, data technology, and again, the spatial configuration of the existing department were all key to making this a modern facility that'll take the Gloucester Police Department and Gloucester District Court in the next 50 years. So we're at the point right now where the building committee is going to hopefully be established this evening or the next city council meeting, and that the architect can take it and run from there, and this committee can meet regularly and carry this project through construction.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. Chief Ed Conley. Sorry, Councilor Blank.
We can go through with everybody else first. I can wait for my questions.
Chief Ed Conley, you look relaxed, like you've been golfing today, like most of our cast.
Yes, I won't say who, but there are a number of people on this call right now who have participated in a charity golf tournament today, which was couldn't pick a better day to do that, and it was a great event. So yeah, I mean, Mike said it all. This, as anybody who's stepped foot into the Gloucester Police Department knows, this is long overdue, and the department itself is suffering from a number of deficiencies, to include basic things like cooling and heating throughout the building, windows that leak when it rains, rainwater coming into the roll call room, etc. So we're really excited to get this project off the ground. I think the design team has done an outstanding job at putting some tentative plans together, and I look forward to this, the building committee moving forward. So I think there's a lot of experience on this committee, and they'll bring, will participate in making big decisions about how this design ultimately plays out, and this design will be the Gloucester Police Department, for the next 30, 40 years. So I'm excited about it.
Excellent. Thank you, Ed. Our IT officer with the police department, Officer Sean Bushy, is there anything you'd like to add to this?
Thank you, Councilor. I think that police chief pretty much summed it up pretty well. We certainly, from a technology standpoint, need to modernize access control for specific areas in the building, making sure that our subblock area is secure and away from any type of civilian or court activity. So I'm looking forward to being on this building committee and taking the opportunity to deal with any challenges we may face, and certainly getting through them, and look forward to a better working environment.
Excellent. Thank you, Sean. We may roll into councilor questions, and Councilor Blank had his hand up.
Thank you, Sean. So listening to the description of the police department, it sounds like a couple of the schools we're about to replace. So I'm excited that this building's going to finally get updated, as is the school. So what is the timeline for this? Is there a timeline that we're trying to, is this going to happen within the next year, within the next couple of years, or I'm not sure what we're looking at here as far as going out time-wise.
I think I can touch on that, Councilor Blank. So I think we're a number of months away from a final design at this point. With the building committee being established now, we can really dig in to make sure we meet the needs of the facility. The building committee is a mix of personnel from the police, the courthouse, and city staff that'll be, familiar with this type of work. So I'd probably say bid spring of 22. And then the construction probably go from, late summer to early fall 22. This is at least a 12-month process, maybe more. Obviously, the police station is open 24/7. The court has specific hours. The court's taking precautions to make sure they have space to move into while work is happening. And the police department will have to work around their schedules, make sure we don't displace too much activity at once. So it may require some phasing of the work, but it's a 12-month anyway construction project. So I would anticipate wrapping this up in late 23.
Awesome. Now you kind of tipped on my next question, was the displacement part. So they are going to be working during construction. We'll have some shifts going in and out of there.
So I can't speak for the. Okay. Go ahead, Chief.
Thanks, Mike. So correct. Obviously, we're 24/7 operations. What's interesting is one thing we learned during COVID is the amount of things that we can do remotely. And our staff is pretty well equipped with laptops and VPN access, thanks to Officer Bushy, to work remotely. The patrol operations will keep in that building along with dispatch as long as possible. But it's a trade-off between the quicker we can all be out of there, the quicker the construction process goes.
Yep.
So we're trying to do that. And with a new building that's been, we're working on a deal right now with the YMCA in their old building, and it's going to be a new place for our community impact unit that would have enough space to kind of absorb in most of the patrol functions. So I think that's right now, tentatively, that's the plan. That when construction really gets honed in and they need us all out of there, we'll move there. And in terms of lockup facilities, we have partnerships with both Rockport and Manchester by the Sea that they're willing to take over our lockup responsibilities.
Awesome. So, I just want to explain what we're doing here a little bit. Some of the officers that are on the call now. You know, I've been on the council 10 years and I don't see some of these faces during these meetings. So what we're doing here is we're just vetting out some of the questions. So that way, when the public watches this Zoom meeting or when other city councilors that aren't on the Zoom at this point, they can go back and view this, this meeting before the council vote. And they're not going to get the repetitive questions as for displacement or the timeline. So that's why I ask all these questions. So it's good to know. And I think that wraps it up for my part. So.
All right, excellent. I just want to recognize that Officer Heidi Fiello has joined the meeting as well. Council O'Hara, do you have any questions?
No,
Jamie?
I'm sure with all the names and the faces that the committee will be well represented and will get a quality job. Thank you.
Excellent. Is there anybody like to speak? Joe Fitzgerald or Joe Balbo? One of you guys want to say anything, or are you guys all right?
I'm all set, thank you. I think the chief and Mike Hale and Sean Bushy has summed up the needs for the department going forward with the future.
Excellent, thank you. And John Dunn.
Just want to remark that once again, you know, the building commission, you know, the building committees are, you know, operating in open meetings. So anybody who wants to attend, wants to ask what is happening, wants to get a figure about what direction we're going in, much, you know, come on aboard.
Thanks, John.
Excellent. Our building inspector, Bill Sanborn.
I just want to comment that I've been with the city dealing with this building for at least 25 years. I know the bad shape it's in. I know the problems that have been down there. I'm really honored to be put on this building committee, and I'm hoping this is one chance we can get to fix a lot of the problems that have been really plaguing everybody down there, working down there, from the bad air to the air conditioners, to leaky windows, to the mold, to everything that's not working right down there. I'm really glad to be a part of this building committee, and thank you.
And we thank you for having you. It's actually a committee full of rock stars. There's a lot of good people here, and I think that we're looking for a good moment. Council McCarthy, do you have anything to add to this?
No, I'm just glad to be here, be a part of it, and offer any assistance I might be able to through the process. Glad we're getting it done. It's time. The building's served us well for 50 years, and it's time to redo it. So thank you.
Excellent. That being said, do we have a motion?
All right, yes, sir, we do. Ordinance Administration would like to recommend to the City Council to appoint the following to the Police Building Committee. We have Police Chief Edward Connolly, Officer Sean Bushy, Deputy Chief Joseph Fitzgerald, Officer Heidi Fiallo, CFO John Dunn, Sergeant Joseph Balbo, City Councilor John McCarthy, IT Director Ryan Knowles, Melissa Texera Prince. She's on the school committee. It doesn't say that, but I'm going to recognize her as a school committee member also. DPW Director Michael Hale and Building Inspector Bill Sanborn, and I so move.
Second.
All in favor, and this will be by roll call. Councilor LeBlanc,
100% yes.
Councilor O'Hara,
Yes.
Councilor Nolan, absolutely, long time coming. Ryan Knowles, thank you for being here tonight, because I know you're going to be an intricate part when this comes through, working with Officer Bushy. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank you, folks. You don't have to
Thank
stick
you,
around.
councilors.
You guys don't have to stick around if you don't want to.
Thank you, councilors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This
Yep,
will be
thank you very much.
City Council on Tuesday. You've all pretty prevalent with the community. If you can make it and you want to say something, that's great. If not, we understand. And thank you all for your time.
I'm sure this building committee will go a lot better than my golf game today. No question.
Who won today?
Thank
Who
you,
won
Council.
today, Ed? Who was the winner? Who was the big winner? Who was the big winner at the golf course?
I'm not sure. I think it was 13 under, a team that had 13 under. I think it was Sean Cranston.
Oh, wow.
His team, yeah.
Yeah, good for, he's
Big
got a horse.
tournament 2 years ago and
Yeah.
big today, but I heard Heidi was the winner, sitting down, relaxing and supporting in the background.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was a
They
great,
were selling raffles. Yeah, selling lots of raffles.
Nice. Thank you all.
Organized. Okay,
care, guys.
thank you, councilors.
So, number 2 on the agenda is the request that the city council vote to extend the use of Plum Cove School as Ward 4, Precinct 2.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. Ward 4, Precinct 2, polling location for 14th, 2021 preliminary election, and that November 2nd, 2021 municipal election and future elections. I believe this is something that has to be done, and I think that we would roll over to Councilor Gilman for some comment.
Thank you, Councilor Nolan.
Not that you didn't just clear the room, but there's only 5 people I'm looking at now.
Hope everyone is well. It's nice to see you all. So this relates to the state election laws, chapter 255 of the Acts of 2020. It was recently amended, chapter 5 of the Acts of 2021 on July 29th. And it basically requires city councilors to evaluate and report on whether a change in an election facility will have a disparate adverse impact to the polls on basis of race, national origin, disability, income, or age. And basically the school committee approved this on August 5th. And in a nutshell, the issue is that we don't feel that it's safe in terms of being able to socially distance at the Lanesville Community Center. And we feel like we can have a much better layout where people don't have to be real close to each other at the Plum Cove Elementary School. So it's only a third of a mile away, so we don't think that it's going to affect race, national origin, and we also think that this is a better place for people that might be disabled because there will be more space for them to get in and out of without having to get close to one another. So we hope that the city council approves this, and it will not just be for the preliminary election coming up and on September 14th. It will also be for the regular election on November 2nd. And we've put language in this that the school committee approved that it would also include future elections, just in case we have to continue this socially distance COVID requirements. So it's all been approved by the school committee, and now we're just asking the council to support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Gilman. Do we have 2 motions tonight? And we'll start with the first motion.
Mute myself here. Ordinance and Administration would like to recommend to the city council in accordance with the changes of the state election laws pursuant to chapter 255 of the Acts of 2020 as amended by chapter 5 of the Acts of 2021 on July 29th, 2021, that the city council evaluate and report on whether such changes would have a disparate adverse impact on the polls on the basis of race, national origin, disability, income, or age, and not later than 3 days prior to the changing of a polling place, and make publicly available on the city's website at the office of the city clerk, and report on its evaluation, and I so move.
Second.
And this will be a roll call, and I'll start with Councilor LeBlanc,
Yes.
Councilor O'Hara,
Yes.
Counselor Nolan, yes. The motion passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. If we can go on to the second motion, please.
Yes, sir. Ordinance Administration would like to recommend to the City Council, in accordance with the changes in the state election laws pursuant to Chapter 255 of the Acts of 2020, as amended by Chapter 5 of the Acts of 2021 on July 29th, 2021, that the City Council vote to extend the use of Plum Cove School, 15 Hickory Street, as the Ward 4 Precinct 2 polling location for the September 14th, 2021 preliminary election, the November 2nd, 2021 municipal election, and future elections, and I so move.
Second,
And this will be by roll call. Counselor LeBlanc,
Yes.
Counselor O'Hara,
yes.
Counselor Nolan, yes. And this passes on a motion of 3 in favor, 0 opposed. I believe that wraps things up, and I was looking for a motion to adjourn.
We'll have one way to be proactive, Val, making sure that we're doing the right thing for the election. So good job.
Thank you.
And I will make a motion. I move to adjourn Ordinance Administration.
Second,
There we go.
And this will be by roll call again. Counselor LeBlanc,
Yes.
Counselor O'Hara,
He
Counselor O'Hara,
doesn't want to leave.
yes.
There we go.
and Counselor Nolan, yes.
All
So the
right.
motion passes to adjourn. Everybody have a great night. Val, thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Sherry.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.